the most expensive decision you'll ever make. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question. What do you think the most expensive decision in your life will be? Some of you may say, taking a risk and failing. Others might say, making a bad investment. Some will say, trusting the wrong person. But I want to challenge that thought. The most expensive decision you'll ever make is not failure, not rejection, not losing money, and not being wrong. The most expensive decision you'll ever make is staying where you are, simply because change feels too risky. Yes, staying the same. Choosing comfort over growth. Choosing safety over possibility. That is the most expensive decision of all. Comfort versus growth. You see, most people think comfort equals safety. They believe if they just keep doing what they've always done, they'll be okay. But the world doesn't work like that. The world is moving. Technology is advancing. Industries are shifting. Opportunities are changing. And while you're standing still, the world is not waiting for you. Comfort feels safe, but it's an illusion. Comfort is a trap. Let me give you an example. Think about someone who has worked the same job for 10 years. In the beginning, they were excited. They were learning. They were growing. But over time, they stopped challenging themselves. They stopped updating their skills. They stopped taking risks. 10 years later, the industry has changed. Technology has advanced. New talent has entered the field. And suddenly, that once secure job is no longer secure. Their skills are outdated. Their opportunities are limited. Their potential has been wasted. And why? Because they thought staying where they were was safer than moving forward. That's the price of comfort. That's the cost of refusing change. The hidden cost of standing still. Let's break this down. While you avoid the risk of change, 4 things are happening. Your skills become obsolete. What was valuable yesterday may not be valuable tomorrow. Imagine a computer engineer who refuses to learn new programming languages. Imagine a business owner who ignores e-commerce because they think traditional methods will last forever. Imagine a musician who never adapts to new styles, trends, or platforms. They slowly fade out of relevance. Not because they're untalented, but because they refuse to evolve. Your opportunities disappear. Opportunities are like windows. They open, but they don't stay open forever. If you're too afraid to move, too hesitant to try, too cautious to act, the window closes. And once it's gone, it may never return. Your competition advances. While you're standing still, someone else is running. Someone else is upgrading. Someone else is moving forward, building, adapting, and claiming the opportunities you hesitated to grab. The world doesn't pause because you're scared. The world moves on. Your potential expires. Potential is like energy. It must be used. The saddest thing in life is not failure. It's wasted potential. The dreams that never left your mind. The talents that were never expressed. The opportunities that were never seized. The books unwritten. The businesses unstarted. The love unspoken. The greatness inside you that never saw the light of day. That is the real cost of staying the same. The illusion of safety. Let's be honest. We avoid change because it feels risky. We tell ourselves, what if I fail? What if I look foolish? What if people laugh at me? What if it doesn't work out? But let me flip that for you. What if you succeed? What if this change is the key that unlocks everything you've been waiting for? What if the very thing you're afraid of is the doorway to the life you've been dreaming of? The truth is, the risk you're avoiding is smaller than the price you're paying. Not trying is far more expensive than trying and failing. Failure teaches you. Failure strengthens you. Failure moves you closer to success. But standing still, that teaches you nothing. That gives you nothing. That moves you nowhere. Stories of regret. You don't have to look far to see examples. Talk to people in their 70s or 80s. Ask them what they regret most. You'll notice something. Most people don't regret what they tried and failed at. They regret what they never tried. They regret the businesses they never started. They regret the chances they never took. They regret the people they never spoke to. They regret the dreams they buried in the name of safety. Regret is the invoice you pay for the risks you never took. And let me tell you something. Regret is far heavier than failure. The world rewards the bold. Look at history. Look at the great innovators, the leaders, the entrepreneurs, the artists. They all had one thing in common. They moved. They changed. They risked. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning to build Apple into one of the greatest companies in history. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before one finally said yes to Harry Potter. What if Edison had stayed comfortable after the first 100 failures? What if Jobs had stayed defeated after being rejected? What if Rowling had given up after the 10th rejection letter? The world rewards those who take the risk of change, not those who sit in comfort. Your life is a story. Think of your life as a book. Every year, every decision, every risk is a page. The question is, what kind of story are you writing? Are you writing a story of playing it safe, staying in the same place and letting fear control your choices? Or are you writing a story of courage, growth, and change? When people read your story, will they be inspired? Or will they be bored? Change is the only constant. The irony is that change is unavoidable. You can't stop it. The world will change with or without you. The question is, will you change with it? Or will you resist until the world leaves you behind? Let me give you an example. Blockbuster refused to adapt to digital streaming. They thought their old model would last forever. Today, Blockbuster is gone. Netflix, which embraced change, dominates. Kodak invented the digital camera, but they were too afraid to move away from film. They thought change would risk their profits. Today, Kodak is a shadow of what it once was. The lesson? Refusing change doesn't protect you. It destroys you. The biggest risk is no risk. So let me repeat. The biggest risk is not taking any risks. You think you're avoiding danger by staying safe. But in reality, you're stepping into the most dangerous decision of all, staying the same. Because when you stay the same, you guarantee missed opportunities, guarantee wasted potential, guarantee regret. And that, my friends, is the most expensive decision you'll ever make. A call to action. So what do? How do we break out of this trap of comfort? Start small, but start. You don't have to leap off a cliff tomorrow, but you must take a step. Learn a new skill. Make that phone call. Apply for that opportunity. Start that side project. Change begins with one action. Embrace failure as part of the process. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person you admire failed more times than you can count. The difference? They didn't stop. Surround yourself with movers. If you spend your time with people who are stuck, you'll feel comfortable being stuck too. But if you surround yourself with people who are growing, who are pushing, who are changing, you'll feel inspired to do the same. Reframe fear. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I never try? That one shift in perspective can change your entire life. Closing. Ladies and gentlemen, your future does not depend on luck. It depends on courage. It depends on your willingness to change, to grow, to risk, and to move forward even when it feels uncertain. The most expensive decision you will ever make is to stay where you are. Just because change feels risky. Don't pay that price. Don't settle for comfort. Don't trade your potential for safety. The world is moving, and so must you. Your future is waiting, but it won't wait forever. The biggest risk is not taking any risks. So take the step. Take the chance. Take the leap. Because in the end, the cost of staying the same will always be far greater than the cost of change. Like, share, and subscribe to the Post of Pulse.